Welcome to the Bluegrass Sports Network. I'm Bo Craycraft, joined tonight by none other than Brad Thomas. Brad, good to have you back again. You've been a trooper for us here over the last week.
Well, it's exciting to be here for a regional game being hosted in Franklin County.
Big day for Western Hills Lady Wolverines. Been several years since they've been to region, but been years. You know, we just found out this week that first ever district title.
Right. You know, this has been a year of first for Western Hills. First year on the turf, first year dealing with COVID, and now the first year winning a district title.
And Coach Chris Brady's been building things over the last couple of years, but tonight they face another program that has been building and building. Coach Taylor Roden brings her Lady Generals to Frankfort. First time they're in region. I talked to one of the assistant coaches. I think it's 15 years.
That's crazy.
Tough region that she plays in, and so they're back. So we've got a couple teams here that haven't really been here a ton.
Right. And I think they're very similar teams. You know, in talking with the coaching staff, Lafayette's going to come out with a 3-5-2 formation. That was the same formation that Western Hills played for the last few years. So you're going to see some similarities there. Very similar records. Western Hills coming in at 8-5, Lafayette coming in at 8-3-2. I think this is going to be a good game, and we're just hoping that we'll be able to have beautiful weather and it won't get too chilly for us standing up here on top of the press box.
Absolutely. Winner of tonight would advance to the semifinals, which the way the regions work is first round is hosted by district winners, so that's why we're at Western Hills. But come Tuesday night, the final four of the Region 11 will meet at Great Crossing.
Right.
So winner here tonight gets to punch their ticket for Tuesday night. Final is on Thursday. We're going to be able to carry that here on the Bluegrass Sports Network, so we're really excited about that. But we got 4.5 left.
That's right.
Anything specific you think we should keep an eye out for?
You know, I think the players to watch is Lily Simpson for Lafayette. She's only played in 7 games, but she had 7 goals, 5 assists in those games. And I think on the other side, you've got to put the pressure on the defense for Western Hills. I think Olivia Turner, Gianna Maglimont, Maddie Brock, and Lauren Murray are going to be under a lot of pressure tonight. And I think that defense has got to stand strong because we always know defense wins championships. So we'll see.
We've got 4 minutes on the clock. We got to take a quick break just for a few of our sponsors. We want to make sure we highlight them. We'll be back to bring you up all the action. We thank you for joining us on the Bluegrass Sports Network. We'll be right back.
The people of Frankfort are ready for growth in our community. We need strong leaders who can help bring real changes to
Running a business takes a lot of focus and dedication. Keeping up with the ever-changing tax laws and keeping up with all the numbers behind your business, while necessary, can cause distraction and even a little anxiety. That's where Charles T. Mitchell, certified public accountants, come in. They've been helping local businesses run smoothly since 1964. They've got the experience and quality you deserve, and they'll put your mind at ease. Taxes, accounting, and assurance services for your business. Charles T. Mitchell, CTMCPA.com.
Hi, I'm Sarah Neely. I'm the financial manager at Mill Ridge Farm. Whenever you transition financial institutions, there's a tremendous amount of paperwork involved. Traditional banks streamlined this paperwork and they just made it very simple. Traditional Bank is a locally owned bank that allows us to operate on an international platform. They make my life better, they make my job easier, and they make Mill Ridge a better place.
How much time you got?
And now for your starting lineups. First, for the visiting Lady Generals of Lafayette High School out of the 43rd District. Number 2, Kristen Gamble. Number 3, Parker Schrader.
All right, folks, welcome back to the Bluegrass Sports Network. As you can see, they're doing some starting lineups here of the Lady Generals. I think we're still going to have to do the national anthem as well, but
Right, you know, in the COVID world, introductions are totally different now, and you used to see a lot of pomp and circumstance before games, but Lafayette's doing their own little thing there in front of their bench.
Yeah, it's interesting. I referee. I did a couple youth games, and it's like you do the team meeting, and there's like no physical contact, but and the kids are kind of like, can I get close or can I not? So it's definitely different, but good to see them playing.
That's
as we've
exactly
said all
right.
year, just happy that we get to watch them play.
And looking at Western Hills, they were able to play their complete season. One of the rare things that you see in this COVID world, not having a shutdown.
See Coach Brady there giving some final instructions, and this is the Wolverines.
Senior Carson Graves coming out.
Kristen Tucker coming off an MVP performance in the District 41 tournament.
And Anna Willems, who had an outstanding district tournament as well. Maddie Brock also on that all-tournament team coming out, playing right back. Olivia Turner back, playing center back for this one.
Number 3, Kennedy Carter.
Kennedy Carter is going to be crucial for Wolverines in this game. Hopefully she'll be able to get some shots on goal for the Wolverines.
Well, I think they're going to face a stiff test. The Generals play in Lexington, one of the toughest districts in the state.
And there's no easy games in that district. As we were talking about, this has been a record-setting year for the Wolverines program. First year on turf. We've said it before, we'll say it again. Superintendent Mark Kopp and the Board of Education making the investment in the future of athletics for Western Hills. We're going to go ahead and take a break for our national anthem.
We'll take a break, and while they do the national anthem, we'll be back with the first 40 of this first round, Region 11, on the Bluegrass Sports Network.
Running a business takes a lot of focus and dedication. Keeping up with the ever-changing tax laws and keeping up with all the numbers behind your business, while necessary, can cause distraction and even a little anxiety. That's where Charles T. Mitchell, certified public accountants, come in. They've been helping local businesses run smoothly since 1964. They've got the experience and quality you deserve, and they'll put your mind at ease. Taxes, accounting, and assurance services for your business. Charles T. Mitchell, CTMCPA.com.
I'm Dr. Jenny Millen. I'm owner and chiropractor at Triple Crown Chiropractic and Wellness. I started this practice in 2010, and traditional bank is the 4th bank I've tried. After switching, I feel like I'm home. I'm from a small town, and that hometown feel of knowing that they care about where you are now and where you are going in the future, that is a win-win for me.
The people of Frankfort are ready for growth in our community. We need strong leaders who can help bring real changes to our city. Kyle Thompson is ready for the challenge. He's a strong supporter of law enforcement and wants to provide proper funding for our police and emergency services to reduce crime rates. Kyle also plans to work in cooperation with the county to revitalize our parks. It is important to provide for the well-being of all of our Frankfort families. Kyle is ready to take on all of this and more. Make your voice heard and vote Kyle Thompson for City Commission.
We're back on the BSN network, and we're right time to get started with some soccer in this 11th region matchup between Lafayette Generals and the Western Hills Wolverines. Lady Wolverines coming in with their first district title in their last matchup, so that was just Thursday night. Bo, it seems like it was forever ago. But not much rest for the weary, and we're already into regional play.
The games are going to be fast and furious, and I think I read somewhere that whoever wins the state championship will have played 9 games in 19 days.
Oh, my goodness.
And I think that's from district to state final.
Right.
So
and
it is a gauntlet.
It is a gauntlet, and it's survival of the fittest, and the teams a lot of times that are able to go deep on their bench are the ones that become victorious with a schedule like that. See our officials coming out, and we'll be underway here in just a moment. As we said, Lafayette's going to come out in a 3-5-2 formation. Western Hills comes back in their usual 4-3-3 for this season. Last year they played a lot of 3-5-2, so the formation Lafayette's going to throw out there should not be a problem for the recognition of the Wolverine players.
For those of you joining us from Lexington, maybe Lafayette General fans, bear with us. We're trying to get to know your team and your players' names, and hopefully as we get going, we'll start to figure out who's who. If we mispronounce someone or maybe misidentify, we'll apologize beforehand. We've done a lot of games over the last couple of weeks, so names are running together.
That's right. And, the first thing that I notice coming right off is Western Hills trying to establish possession right now. And I looking for numbers, trying to see if we have Lily Simpson out there.
It sounded like the coaches said she was recovering from an injury, so she may get a little spotty time, trying to get back into game shape.
Right, and when you look at some of the other players that they have, it's that Kristen Gamble and Ella Abraham and Brooke Dahl here have carried a yeoman's role of scoring goals and making assists. This team has spread the wealth as far as goal scoring this year with 10 players on the scorebook. See Lafayette maintaining possession here, trying to work the right side. Western Hills hoping to bend to not break here with that defense. Lafayette swinging it around. Good turnover there and Ella Davis with the interception. Looking for friends and finding the back three of Lafayette. That's Piper Schwider. And I apologize if I'm mispronouncing her name there at the left back. That'll be a Western Hills throw-in.
Good little pressure there from Kennedy Carter to force a turnover.
Carter didn't play for Western Hills last year, and her reemergence on this team has been a game changer for the offensive side of the ball for Western Hills. Good tactical play there by Lafayette to gain possession, and we'll see the Generals moving in on the offensive end. Right now it seems both teams just trying to feel each other out. Kristen Tucker misfires on a pass that was hoping to catch Anna Willems on the right side.
You can tell based on the sun, it's 6 o'clock. The sun is making its way, so depending on where we're at on the field, you get a little bit more glare than others. Right now, the Lafayette Lady Generals are kind of working into the sun, so their keeper will be fighting that for a little bit.
That's another giveaway. That's Ella Davis on the ball, trying to find Kendi Carter. But the Lafayette General defense is right there ready to pounce on it. That's Brooke Dahl here, 7 there, one of the leaders of this team. She's on the ball again. That's Kristen Gamble there on that right wing. We talked about her. She's put 7 in the back of the net this season, and she's one of the players that they're going to look for trying to push down that right side against this Wolverine defense. It's Maddie Mueller, who has a great district tournament. She was dominating in the first game and scored a goal in the second game. I really think the key for Western Hills tonight is showing that speed. Look, good physical play right in the middle of the field there.
They do have a lot of speed on those wings, so the question is, can they find opportunities with this back three where maybe they can get wide and use some of that athleticism?
That was a dangerous ball coming in, but it's going to go out for a goal kick.
On the other side, I think Lafayette, clearly with 5 in the midfield, they want to possess the ball. And they want to use those wide spaces as well.
And you can tell with the holding mids that they're playing there that's Jamie Cottingen and Layla Confitas. You can really see their physical nature of that holding midfield. They see them banging around a little bit with Kendi Carter on that last attempt by the Wolverines to get on the offensive end.
I think that might be one of the biggest difference, between a District 41 team like Western Hills and the 2 districts out of Lexington is the level of physicality is probably notched up.
No, I agree with that, Bo.
Can Western Hills match that level of physicality that Lafayette is used to playing at?
Right, and I think it comes down to the toughness that you're going to see out of that back four for Western Hills, and also the holding mids of Kristen Tucker and Maggie Richardson.
Lafayette pretty content just to knock it around for now, though.
Swinging it in. Broken up nicely by Anna Willems. It's Richardson trying to get Mueller, and Mueller's on the ball, trying to push it ahead, but the defense of the Generals takes it away, and they'll reset their offense. That's Cotton Gin again. And try and find Dahlhair here, but that's Kristen Gamble down that right wing to Dahlhair. We talked about those two. They're going to run a lot of offense to that right side.
It's a good ball in behind.
That's the senior Carson Graves on top of that one for the Wolverines. And Wolverines will get a reset here with a goal kick from Graves, the senior. Cotton Jim again with the ball, putting it back in on the offense for Lafayette. Another good pass, shot just wide, and that was Piper Schwetter that coming up out of the back.
We didn't talk a bunch about Carson Graves, but I was looking through the highlights, the Bluegrass Energy power plays, and she made several key saves in that second half that I just didn't really, as the game was going, I didn't really think about, but she made one diving save and then one save on a free kick that really kept them in the game. And
that's Dahlhair with the ball trying to give and go here. That's Kristen Gamble with it, and it'll go out for a Lafayette corner kick. I apologize earlier, I misspoke who it was with that shot. It was actually Kristen Gamble with that shot. See Lafayette here on the corner kick. They've got a lot of players in the box. We'll see what happens. Maddie Mueller is able to get the ball and clear it out, and Kendi Carter trying to connect with her. Right now in the possession game, Lafayette is dominating with the ball.
Yeah, Western Hills having a hard time getting out of their final defensive third.
Kendi Carter providing a little bit of pressure, but Lafayette is able to move the ball pretty freely in that back
nice
three.
Little turn there.
Trying to find Dahlhair again. She's looking for someone, but the Wolverines are closing in on her, and it goes to the keeper, Carson Graves.
Well, we talked about this all week last week during the District 41 tournament. Western Hills has a knack for being able to get numbers in the central area, and you could see that. They had 6 or 7 green shirts kind of clogging the middle of the field, and so Lafayette's tried to attack more centrally thus far. We'll see if they look to go maybe to those wider spaces.
And I think, that's Wolverines with their athleticism and the speed that they play with, that they can get away with putting a lot of people behind the ball and then still able to make the break for offensive movement. And you see here they try and go with Mueller down that left wing. This was the secret to the district title for them, was getting it out to their wings and really using their speed to their advantage.
That's twice now she's looked to play the ball into Kennedy Carter in the central areas. I think she maybe would be better served to try to get around that corner on her own. But
there's good battle in the middle of the field, and once again Wolverines struggling to get possession right now.
Good little 1-2 there.
That's Dahlhair with the ball in a dangerous area looking for someone. Wolverines stand it up, though, and Lauren Murray's able to put a toe on it, and the keeper, Carson Graves, avoids this offensive surge from the Generals. So far, it's been all Lafayette. We're 31. We got 31 minutes left in this first half, but we've yet to see any real offensive movement from the Wolverines.
Well, they are district runner-ups in this situation. Western Hills is district champions, but they are ranked 10th in the state. I read Jared Peck's preview on the LexingtonHerald.com or Kentucky.com, and they're ranked 10th in the state. So, they may be a district runner-up, but they would have won a majority of districts in this state.
Yeah, this was definitely a tough draw for the Wolverines winning the district. The runner-up in the 41st District, Great Crossing, had their game earlier today against Model out of Richmond, Kentucky, and they came through with a victory, Bo.
Yeah, I saw that Dodge and Marion Patton had 2 goals. They won that game 2-0, so they will get to play at home as the host of the Region 11 girls on Tuesday night. This is Mueller, and this is what I was talking about, trying to get around that corner, using some of her speed.
And just a little too early on that shot. I think she felt some defensive pressure there, but really from her speed that she was showing, that defender wasn't going to catch her. She could have had another good touch to be able to move it in. Keeper for Lafayette will put it back in play. It's Rebecca Daniel who's the keeper tonight. I'm sorry, that it's Alexandra Mead. Wrong number there. We're trying to learn the players here for Lafayette. We haven't seen their games this year, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult for us to keep up with the players, but we'll do the best we can. Shame we can't just edit these and get the names right, Bo, but
yeah. There's not enough edit buttons for that.
That's Willems with a good play to win possession, and here's Ella Davis trying to keep it in the Wolverines' offensive end. But you see Dahl here come up with it for the Generals.
Got a little space here.
And you can see the offense flows through Brooke Dahl here, who has stayed on the ball quite a bit this first half. Wolverines have been bending but not breaking in this defense and just looking for some opportunities. The real only opportunity thus far is when they were able to have Maddie Mueller out. Got a little bit out in front.
But you can see right now there's some space out there. If they could win that ball and do a quick switch of fields, that is one of the weaknesses of a 3-back system compared to a 4-back system.
Maggie Richardson deflecting that ball, but it goes right back to the Lafayette Generals. They're going to look for a cross, and that's Carson Graves.
That's a dangerous ball.
And it hit the post.
Very dangerous, hits the post.
You know, Bo, that was probably wind aided because we've got a pretty good gust of wind happening right now on the Western Hills field. And not sure if the wind helped or hurt it, but it's definitely being influenced.
Not sure who that was, but that was a nice left-footed strike there from distance.
That was Brooke Dahlhair that took that shot.
And yeah, you've already seen her have an impact. She's already put her touch on this game. We're only 12 minutes in.
And we saw Kristen Gamble, number 2, and they're trying to fight the keeper to get the ball, and was warned from our center official. Graves puts it back in play, trying to find Kendi Carter right through the heart, route 1, as we often say in soccer. You know, I don't see Western Hills trying to play a lot out of the back from those goal positions. Do you, Bo?
I don't see them trying to play short.
Throw-ins to Ella Davis. Ella Davis trying to connect with Mueller. Mueller hits the turf, and
yeah, she collided there. But
coming up a little gimpy after that one. The injury she received on Thursday night's game was her toenail. Her big toenail was ripped off in that game, and she was able to come back out and play. But it just shows you some of the toughness of these players. Got several of them at this point in the season nursing injuries, but as we said, regional appearances are rare and hard to get to. So players are going to strap on and be ready to come out and play.
Well, I know she's a young lady that missed a lot of last season due to injury. So
yeah, she got hurt in the 3rd game and then just didn't return. And she was a very bright start to the season last year, and then was just unable to come back for the Wolverines. That's a good attempt to try and find Mueller again. But Lafayette's well-versed in playing defense right now. That's Kristen Tucker finding Mueller, trying to give and go, a little heavy on the pass back from Mueller. That's Willems winning that ball. She's looking out wide.
Mueller out wide. Can she connect? Good step there from Lafayette.
We'll get a throw in for the Wolverines.
Now the Wolverines are also dealing with a little injury as well. They lost one of their key midfielders due to an ACL. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. It's Christina Chavez. Maggie Richardson's taken in the role that Chavez would be playing. You know, I coached Christina for a year, and very tough player. And, you know, she played with an injured knee for the first half of the season, then just got to the point where she had to shut it down, and just had surgery right before the district tournament. And I saw her after the win on Thursday night, and she was in good spirits because of the way her team had played. It's Lauren Murray finding Ella Davis. Ball will go off Lafayette.
Looks like we got a couple substitutions maybe about to enter for Lafayette.
Trying to see numbers. It's Layla Confide.
Number 17.
Heading out. 17.
Here's a chance for Lafayette. Plays the ball through, but just a little too much there, and Graves is able to collect.
And that was Dahlhair again with a nice play. I think that last substitution we have Simpson that's now come in the 9 position. Is that Simpson up there, or is that still Kristen Gamble? We're still struggling with numbers. That is Kristen Gamble still.
Number 2, yeah.
So we still have yet to see Simpson, who has really been a force to reckon with, but she was only able to play 7 games due to injury.
I think it was assistant coach Wesley that I talked to. She's dealing with Tyler Wesley, dealing with an ankle injury. So hoping to get her a few minutes and maybe.
We've got a replay on that last shot here, as you can see. Comes through, and Carson Graves able to handle it easily. That's Brooke Dahlhair, who's really been running the offense for the Generals today. Swinging the ball around, trying to find a teammate. They maintain possession. You can see Western Hills with a lot of players back, just trying to keep any shot attempts down to a minimum, but that one's put out by Lauren Murray for a corner kick.
And you can see it right there. They had 7 or 8 girls kind of stacked up in front of goal.
Yeah, I think Chris Brady's strategy in this game is he wants it to stay close, doesn't want to get into an up and down type match, and, try to see if they can have a counter. Here's the corner kick coming in. That's Anna Woolhams pushing it out. Or Maddie Brock, I'm sorry. Shot Ella Davis was able to shoot right back where it came from, and Lafayette will once again go on the offense. Trying to get the ball into Dahlhair in the center of the pitch, but the Wolverines were up to the task. We'll have a throw in now for the Wolverines.
23 minutes left on the clock, still 0-0 here at Western Hills High School.
We've seen a few shots from Lafayette, but nothing that really has concerned Carson Graves at this point. From the Western Hills offensive end, we're not seeing a whole lot. In the game of possession, Lafayette's definitely in control right now, but once again, that defensive line that the Wolverines have set have been able to hold off any real golden goal-scoring opportunities for the Generals.
I think Coach Brady will be okay with the possession as long as they can keep them in front. They're not giving up those little diagonals behind.
Well, and they had a lot of counterattacks in the games that they played against Franklin County and also Great Crossing. So if Western Hills can get out and get some speed on those outside wings, that's some good opportunities for them to win this game. It's Kristen Tucker trying to get the ball off of Dahlhair's hand. That's Carson Graves pushing it over the top. Another good shot, though, from Lafayette. Here's a replay on that. See Brooke Dahlhair taking a rip, and the senior Carson Graves able to push it over the crossbar. It's Lafayette General's 3rd corner kick for the game. They've got 6 players that they pushed up into the box, trying to get a hit on this corner. It's a dangerous ball. Carson Graves pushes it aside for, once again, another corner kick, but that's a good play by Carson Graves.
Yeah, the first 2.
Let's get a replay on that. Yeah. It's a dangerous ball that Carson Graves was able to push aside.
Well, the first 2 corner kicks, they kind of went more near post, lower driven ball. That one was more of a far post, so they're trying to vary these corner kicks a little bit. So let's see what they do here. Looks like it'll be an outswinger.
Dangerous ball just landing right in front, and it's going to go wide for a goal kick. Wolverines fans breathe a sigh of relief after a few shots on goal there from the Generals.
Yeah, anytime that ball just kind of is like bouncing around in front of the box, you hold your breath because deflection or something random like that could really cause problems. And
goal kick from Graves trying to find Kendi Carter. With the back 3 of Lafayette's up to the task. Here's Ella Davis in the middle of the field trying to find Kendi Carter again.
It's a good step there from Lafayette. The
midfield for Western Hills is definitely going to be challenged in this game as They're having to be a little bit of everywhere to connect with the top, but also come back and help on defense. Coach Brady is usually going about 14 deep. I don't anticipate him getting that deep tonight. He's going to go with the players that got him here, Bo. And
Coach Wesley said that they usually go 16, 17, so not tremendously deeper than Western Hills. We can see they have another substitution entering the game. Looks like number 12 is going to take a break.
That's Cotton Jim. She's played well for them so far. That's going to be a holding midfielder coming in, and that's number 25. It's Marianne Gebb.
So it's her first action of the night.
So Anna Woolham's fighting for it on the sidelines, and she keeps it in and then just gets pushed off the ball by Lafayette.
Another one of those areas where we see the physicality, and I think Western Hills, they're going to have to step that up.
It's a quick pass from Kristen Tucker, and it was a good one. And we got a foul there. Maddie Mueller taken down by the right back. We talked about how she was really getting beat up in that district tournament, and tonight she's been on the pitch a couple of times.
But she bounces back up.
A foul was on Abby Peck, that right back that challenged Mueller. That's Kendi Carter with the ball. Ball taken off from her, but it'll be a throw in for Western Hills. That was Brooke Dahl here playing a little defense this time. Throw in from Lauren Murray trying to find a teammate, but she finds a Lafayette General. That's our sub, Gebb, trying to find somebody. It's Dahl here who comes on with it now. Ball just goes out of play, and it'll be a Western Hills throw in. We're at the 18-minute mark. No score here at the Western Hills High School in a Region 11 matchup. And, you know, at the beginning of the season, I know Chris Brady, the coach for Western Hills, probably threw up on the whiteboard, we need to host a region game. And, you know, as most coaches, when they start the season, you have these goals. And he's been talking about that and building up to that over these last few years. He's had a string of winning records, and this year he pulled off the first district title.
It's really cool how similar these two programs are because, you know, Coach Roden, I think, began 5 years ago. First season was 7 wins. And she has slowly but surely 7 wins, 8 wins, 10 wins, and now, you know, this year. And that's going to be a goal for the Lady Generals.
And that was Brooke Dahl here. She's taken a few good rips, and you see the shot here on our replay. Carries it in right to that circle at the 18 and was able to blast it home. Carson Graves got a hand on it, but unable to catch it, and it ends up going off her hands into the goal. And the Lafayette Generals are up 1-0 in this Region 11 matchup. We're at that point in the season. Winners move on and losers go home. So we'll see if the Western Hills can get one back here with about 17 minutes left in this first half.
Dahlhair had been applying pressure.
Kristen Tucker with a good read there.
Dahlhair was able to cash in there. I know Graves will be a little disappointed just because I think she expects to make those saves, but it was a well-struck ball.
And she's definitely been seeing some shots in this first half, so it's the first one that was able to get past her. That's Dahlhair again, looking around, lots of space, no pressure from the Wolverines.
It's a good little check-in there. Number 17, our substitute.
That's Martinez, who's on the ball, and then finds again.
Guess who?
Yeah.
Nice little spin move there. But
Ella Davis taken away from her. Good give and go from the Generals. That's Maddie Brock playing a little defense, and the Generals will lose it out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in for the Wolverines.
Dahlhair seems to be everywhere, though.
Yeah, you can see that she's one of the leaders of this team, and you know, as we look at what Western Hills is going to have to do is they're going to have to figure out a way to keep her from really dictating the play as she's done in this first half. Going to throw in from Piper Schwinder. Trying to find Martinez. Ball will bounce out. That's Kristen Tucker trying to get trying to get the ball going in the Wolverines' direction. But here's another shot from distance, and this one doesn't have the success. That was Gebb taking a rip from about 25 yards out.
Good idea, though, because Graves was a little bit off her line there, so got her head up. But I feel like you're starting to see Lafayette move that ball a little quicker. You've seen several little 1-2s or little one-touch combinations.
Well, and you saw Lafayette with some substitutions that players coming in have a little bit more energy. Western Hills, you're in the pressure of a region game that they're not accustomed to, and then you also have just the physicality that the Generals are bringing. Here's Maddie Mueller with a head of steam down the left side.
You can see her speed. She was trying to play that early cross into a dangerous zone. Lafayette defender there got enough of a touch just to redirect it, but
that speed that Mueller shows down that left wing is impressive, and just trying to get other players up with her so that she can combine with them is going to be the key to the Wolverines getting anything in the back of the net tonight. That's Anna Willems checking back and finding the ball. A big collision. Play on, the center official says. It's Martinez trying to play the ball and goes off of Willems. It's a Schroeder that is going to be throwing this in for the Generals. See, the sun is a little bit of an impact to the players. It's slowly drifting behind our shoulders here, Bo, at the press box. But there's the player of the hour right now. Dahlhair is going to take another rip. And Graves makes a play and then is unable to maintain control. But in the end, it ends up in her hands. One thing I noticed in the district tournament, Graves is getting her hands on a lot of stuff, but she's not catching the ball as a goalkeeper coach would like to see. So she's pushing it off, and that time it was a little bit of danger, but she was athletic enough to get back on her feet and make sure that it was not into the back of the net. It's Manny Brock with a good header to keep the offense for Lafayette under control.
Good step from Kristen Tucker there.
Yeah, just trying to find something positive for the offense for the Wolverines, but right now it's slim and none, other than what we've seen out of Maddie Mueller on that left side. Lauren Murray finding Mueller, and we'll see what Mueller can do with it. She's going to play it back to Murray. She loses it out of bounds, and it'll be the Generals' ball with 13 minutes left in this first half.
We've got a couple more substitutions. That was number 2 re-entering.
That's Gamble, who's another one of the offensive stars for this Generals team.
Looks like she was in that central forward position, but she's floated out to the right now.
Yep. Stahlhair on the ball, trying to find Martinez, who tries to flick on to the re-entered Gamble. It's Ella Davis coming down the left wing, trying to maintain possession. And ball goes off of Lafayette. That'll be a Western Hills throw-in.
We haven't talked a ton about Ella. She played more of a kind of a striker for them last year. She's dropped more into a midfield role. She has several goals on the year, but she's not the leading goal scorer like she has in years past. But both her and Willems have taken on slightly different roles this year. And
I think last year at Western Hills they were very, very one-dimensional in their goal scoring, and this year much more balance. I think Coach Brady's been able to change the formation and change really the success that they were able to find in the district tournament based off of that change in philosophy. A little bit better defense with adding the additional defender from the 3-5-2 formation that they played last year. It's Olivia Turner who's going to be able to push that ball up. Ella Davis fighting for it. You can definitely see the more physical play that the Generals have brought to the game today. Western Hills still trying to deal with that physical side that the Lexington schools tend to bring when they come to the region.
They are doing a lot of chasing. You've seen the ball move left, right, switch fields. Now they're coming down the right side.
It's very reminiscent of Great Crossing boys team. I know Coach Maxwell, he'll be watching at home tonight. Very much a possession type game for Lafayette, very reminiscent of the Great Crossing boys team.
I don't want to talk about it. For you, those of you following along with us, my son plays on Frankfort High, and Great Crossings won the district the other night, beat Frankfort High 3-2. So
in a wild game.
It was a wild game. It was all Great Crossings for 30 minutes, and then the final 10 minutes it was all Frankfort High.
And, you know, it
had a ball go off the post that could have potentially tied it at 3, but the Warhawks grabbed their second straight district title, and they will face Madison Central tomorrow.
And, you know, it was one of those things, it was a battle of styles. You had Great Crossing, who loves to pass, and then you had Frankfort, who was able to play in a more chaotic role there in the last 10 minutes, which almost led them to a tie game. There's Dahlhair again trying to push it through.
She is silky smooth with the ball at her feet.
They're just having a difficult time keeping her from doing what she wants. And, you know, she's able to find passes to the wing. She's able to connect with her other midfielders. But I think she's most dangerous in about 20 yards out looking for her shot, as we saw earlier.
She is again. And she seems to prefer that left, which, you know, a lot of players prefer the right. So it's maybe catches defenders a little off guard. You know, they may be forcing her left.
And Maddie Brock playing some defense. That's off the crossbar. That's a second post that we've seen Lafayette hit this game, and Wolverines are still fighting, trying to get it out of their box. Another shot from distance. It gets held up a little bit, and it's going to be cleaned up by Woollums, it looks like. It's a shot from distance from number 10. That was
nice little,
Confitas.
That was a nice little idea there to flick it on. Couldn't quite get a flick on, and looks like for Western Hills we have
Anna Lodmell coming in. She's going to replace Ella Davis in that attacking midfielder role that Davis has been playing for the Wolverines this year.
That's about as deep as we'll see Brady go. 1 or 2 subs. So with all the chasing that they're doing, we'll have to see how they handle the fatigue.
Lodmell's a sophomore who scored a big goal for the Wolverines in the first encounter with Franklin County. It was a game-winning goal. They're trying to find Anna Woollums. That ball's going to head out, and it's going to be a Wolverines throw-in. This is one of the first times that they've been down in Lafayette territory. So we'll see if they can capitalize on it. That's Kendi Carter trying to make something happen, and she's fighting her way through, and it's a deflection.
Scores.
It was a deflection off from the center back who tried to clear. We're going to go to the replay. Let's see what we have. The center back tries to clear it. Kendi Carter with good pressure goes right off her shin guards and right past the Lafayette keeper to tie this game up. And wow, that's in just a second. Wolverines could care less about possession because they're on the board and they've tied this one up.
You can see she trying to catch her breath.
You know, and Kendi Carter's just one of those players that has a knack for scoring. She always has. Her older sister was a very similar type player, Adrienne Carter, and she was one of the. She was actually on that last team that made it to the regions for Western Hills. We see Carter coming out for a breather with Ella Davis going back in.
So here we are, 8 minutes left, 1-1.
There's Woollums trying to make a big switch to find Maddie Mueller. Lafayette able to push the ball back, and here they try and go on the offense again. Ball got hung up in Gamble's feet there a little bit. She'll push it out to the right wing, and they'll try and cross the ball.
That was dangerous there from Western Hills.
Yeah.
It looked like 2 hands into the back.
Yeah, that was Maggie Richardson. Got away with a little bit of a push on Dahlhair. Dahlhair stayed on her feet. But that was about as close to a penalty in the box, Bo. I know you're a referee in your free time. That's one of those that sometimes that's going to get called.
Well, it was definitely a little clumsy, as they say, from a defending standpoint.
It's Lauren Murray trying to win possession there, but here's the Generals with another good shot, and it goes right through Carson Graves, and they now take the lead at 2-1. I don't know if she got screened or what, but that was Ella Abraham. We talked about her as one of the top players for Lafayette Generals, and you know, she scored 4 goals on this season, tends to be more of the playmaker, as with 7 assists. But we'll go to the replay here and see what we got. Okay.
Didn't get that one.
Didn't get that one.
I'm like you. I'm wondering if she was maybe shielded by a defender because it didn't look like she saw that shot coming.
And it crept in on that short side, and we see Lafayette take a 2-1 lead with 7 minutes left in this first half.
Well, that response took less than a minute, and the Generals are back up 2-1.
It's Dahlhair finding the wing there. That's Gamble again trying to find a player. It's a nice touch, and it's cleaned up by Maggie Richardson. Lafayette, though, just maintains possession, and they'll try and get something else going on. It's a good cross, and Dahlhair's
on top of it. Far
ball
post.
sitting there, and Carson Graves, the senior, comes in and cleans that one up. Definitely a lot more chances on the offensive end for Lafayette than for the Wolverines. Wolverines were very productive off their one attempt in the box. Lafayette's had quite a few more shots, but, you know, it's still anybody's game at this point, Bo.
Yep, that's the life of soccer. You know, you can maintain possession, have the ball, create chances, but unless you put it in the back of the net, you're, you know, one goal game like this, you're one mistake away from being back tied. So
we got a substitution in. That's Kendi Carter coming in for Maddie Mueller. They'll push Anna Lodmell out to the left wing, and Carter will reassume the 9 position for the Lady Wolverines. There's a good battle going on between Lauren Murray and Brooke Dahlhair, and Dahlhair comes out the victor on that one. It's going to be a goal kick after that errant throw-in. It's a good little battle between Gianna Maglemont and Ella Abraham. Gianna with her center back partner Olivia Turner have done an excellent job through these last pressure-filled games. Keep the ball out of the net to keep Western Hills in games. See Western Hills on the goal kick, unable to maintain possession, and here we go again with the Lafayette Generals. Maggie Richardson gets the ball, just puts it back in, though, on the Lafayette Generals, and they'll reset their offense. A lot of possession ball here by the Generals.
This is one of those situations where with a 3-back system, Lafayette has 5 in the midfield. This is Turner that you were just talking about.
Yep. She's fighting there for the ball and pushes it out for a throw-in. That's Ella Abraham again.
She switched sides on us. Now she's having a little battle with Turner. But I was just making a note of, like, when those center backs have that ball with no pressure, 5 in the midfield, Lafayette's probably going to have someone in some space, and so –
you know, that they're trying to, once again, find Brooke Dahlhair there. I thought we were going to see a shot from Leah Hale, but she looked for Dahlhair instead. It's Kristen Tucker fighting for the ball. And here comes Lafayette Generals again.
This is Dahlhair. Got her head up.
Swinging around to Leah Hale, who comes back again to the left back, Piper Schwetter. Dahlhair fights for it again. That's Gamble. And she was offsides there. Just a quick pass from Dahlhair going towards Brooklyn Byrne, and Brooklyn Byrne was just a step offsides.
So we're almost to 3 minutes here remaining. Western Hills trying to get out of this half down just 2-1. Their one goal has come on their only significant chance.
Kendi Carter applying the pressure there. That's Kristen Tucker on the ball, trying to find Anna Lodmell with her head up, able to maintain possession, finds Kendi Carter instead, looking for for Anna Woolhams coming down the right side. Maggie Richardson steps up, tries to keep possession for the Wolverines. Fighting in the midfield there a little bit. Players go down, but the ball goes forward, and the play on, as the official says. That's Maddie Brock stepping up, trying to shield and shepherd that ball out of bounds for a goal kick. We'll have a goal kick from Carson Graves. We got 1:50 left in this first half. Carson Graves going to put the ball in play. Trying to find Anna Woolhams over here on the right wing. That'll go off a general, and we'll have a Wolverine throw in. Maddie Brock walking up to put this ball back into play for the Wolverines.
She's not in a big hurry there.
No, she's not. And I'll be honest with you, I think the Wolverines are happy with where they are. They're still in this game. And, you know, whenever you see a Franklin County team take on a Lexington team, I think there's some intimidation that goes on just from understanding that a Fayette County school is going to be a bigger, more powerful team a lot of times. And Wolverines have played a good first half here, staying in the game, down only 2-1. It's Kendi Carter applying some pressure. General's just happy to keep the ball and pass it around, let everybody touch the ball at this point. It's Gab trying to find a teammate, and that's Kristen Tucker fighting with everything she's got to win the ball for the Wolverines. We're down to about 32 seconds left in this first half. Wolverines are in no hurry to get the ball back for the restart. So the throw in there from Murray finds Tucker. We have handling in the midfield. It'll be Wolverines free kick.
You can see there we're about to reach half. Clock's under 15 seconds.
Once again, no hurry for the Wolverines to get this ball back in play. Maglemont will put it out of play, and that'll end our first half. We've got Lafayette Lady Generals up 2-1 over the Western Hills Wolverines. Thank you for watching the first half with us on the Bluegrass Sports Network, and we're going to go ahead and take a commercial break in this exciting Region 11 matchup. Stay tuned.
The people of Frankfort are ready for growth in our community. Law enforcement and wants to provide proper funding for our police and emergency services to reduce crime rates. Kyle also plans to work in cooperation with the county to revitalize our parks. It is important to provide for the well-being of all of our Frankfort families. Kyle is ready to take on all of this and more. Make your voice heard and vote Kyle Thompson for City Commission.
Hi, I'm Sarah Neely. I'm the financial manager at Mill Ridge Farm. Whenever you transition financial institutions, there's a tremendous amount of paperwork involved. Traditional banks streamlined this paperwork, and they just made it very simple. Traditional Bank is a locally owned bank that allows us to operate on an international platform. They make my life better, they make my job easier, and they make Mill Ridge a better place.
Running a business takes a lot of focus and dedication. Keeping up with the ever-changing tax laws and keeping up with all the numbers behind your business, while necessary, can cause distraction and even a little anxiety. That's where Charles T. Mitchell, certified public accountants, come in. They've been helping local businesses run smoothly since 1964. They've got the experience and quality you deserve, and they'll put your mind at ease. Taxes, accounting, and assurance services for your business. Charles T. Mitchell, CTMCPA.com.
Hey, we're back here at halftime for the BSN Network, and we have a special guest going to talk with us here. We have Franklin County Superintendent Mark Kopp. Superintendent, how's it feeling tonight watching your Western Hills Wolverines play?
Hey, this is exciting. First of all, thank you all for doing this, and we're really excited for the BSN Network to be able to do so many of these games. And for us to be able to host a regional soccer game, this is really exciting.
You know, this is the first region game that Western Hills has ever hosted on the girls' side. So, you know, what a year for Western Hills. You have the new turf field. We're seeing a new scoreboard in play. You've got to have a lot of pride for what's going on.
I do, and it's a community pride. You know, when you get to see this field, there was a lot of hard work, a lot of effort by a lot of people, including yourself, to make this a reality. As a matter of fact, I remember when this first was brought up. Well, not first, because we've heard that for many years. But I heard someone in the community say, "Oh, this field's not going to be wide enough to host a regional soccer game." Well, here we are, hosting a regional game for the first time in Western Hills history. The girls' soccer team wins the district. We're hosting the regional game. It is a wonderful night for Franklin County, for Western Hills High School. I couldn't be more excited.
You know, and it's one of the things we talked about. Western Hills, this is their first district title, first time hosting a regional game, and I think it all starts with the new turf.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. You know, the turf has been such a godsend for our community, for Western Hills High School, for our school district, frankly. It's long overdue. It's been something that we've been working on for a long time. And I want to give a lot of thanks here to the Board of Education. Those 5 people stepped up to the plate. They put their money where their mouth is, so to speak, and they invested in our future, in our community, and in our kids. And I couldn't be more proud of tonight.
You know, and we talk about the Western Hills field, but we're able to also have turf at the Franklin County Flyers field. You know, what a step up across the district here for Franklin County Public Schools.
We're one team FCS, so you know, as the superintendent of this wonderful district, I get to praise both of our high schools. If you get a chance to look at the Franklin County High School field, absolutely beautiful. We're having a really strong, successful football season over there. And like I said, it's been a great thing for our community, for our school district. And Brad, I want to thank you. I mean, you know, I remember the day that you and I dragged a measuring tape across this field to measure it and make sure that it would fit, that it would work. And here we are hosting a regional game first year. I couldn't be more excited.
Well, you know, and it's amazing how quickly things happened, you know, from that day of coming out here and talking about the possibilities to the board voting on it and making it a reality. It's amazing in this strange world of COVID that we're seeing great things happening in the district.
And we got to focus on the positive. You know, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. And that's been our motto all year long. Hashtag FCS Lemonade, hashtag One Team FCS. Let's focus on the positive. We understand that things are really difficult right now, and all of us have COVID fatigue. But we also have to just keep our eyes on the prize and keep focusing on what's positive. And what's positive is this Western Hills girls soccer team. Look how successful that they've been. They've come together as a team. They won the district. And you know, like I said, it's a great night for our community.
Well, you know, there's lots of great things happening here in Franklin County and Franklin County Public Schools. What's the next? Everybody said you couldn't get turf and you wouldn't have things like new scoreboards and things like that happening. What's next on the Superintendent Mark Cox?
Well, you know, it'll be wonderful when we can just get back to focusing on all the things that we should be focusing on, which we always are. But COVID always puts a kind of a damper on some of those things. But I want to say there was an article that came out in the paper this week. Our test scores are the highest they've ever been in our district. Our graduation rate is higher than it's ever been. And we're awful competitive with Frankfort Independent being the district that's in town. As a district, we have a higher graduation rate. You know, those are things that Houston and I are competitive on these things, and we like to win. And we just had a lot of wins that were announced this week. So I'm very proud of our district, and we're just going to keep pushing forward. You know, we're going to keep doing the right things. We're going to keep focusing on academics and giving our kids an opportunity to succeed, whether it's in academics, extracurriculars, getting out into the career fields, whatever it is. We're going to just keep pushing forward.
Well, and I think the key is that it starts with setting up the pride. And I know these student athletes that are able to play on this turf and be able to see the new scoreboard go up, it's definitely something that's driving them to success. And Western Hills Lady Wolverines, this is their most successful campaign they ever had. Thank you for being a part of our BSN broadcast tonight. And and hopefully we'll see a victory being pulled out in the second half.
We got to come back here. We're down 2-1. I want to say again, thank you to BSN. You guys are fantastic. We're so happy to have you getting to share this experience with, because we can't have our stands full of fans right now. So to give this opportunity, this is great for our kids. It's great for our community. So thank you.
All right, well, that was Superintendent Mark Kopp, Franklin County Public Schools. We're getting ready to take a break of a game that has Lafayette Generals ahead 2-1 over the Western Hills Lady Wolverines. We'll be right back on the BSN Network.
The people of Frankfort are ready for growth in our community. We need strong leaders who can help bring real changes to our city. Kyle Thompson is ready for the challenge. He's a strong supporter of law enforcement and wants to provide proper funding for our police and emergency services to reduce crime rates. Kyle also plans to work in cooperation with the county to revitalize our parks. It is important to provide for the well-being of all of our Frankfort families. Kyle is ready to take on all of this and more. Make your voice heard and vote Kyle Thompson for City Commission.
Running a business takes a lot of focus and dedication. Keeping up with the ever-changing tax laws and keeping up with all the numbers behind your business, while necessary, can cause distraction and even a little anxiety. That's where Charles T. Mitchell, certified public accountants, come in. They've been helping local businesses run smoothly since 1964. They've got the experience and quality you deserve, and they'll put your mind at ease. Taxes, accounting, and assurance services for your business. Charles T. Mitchell, CTMCPA.com.
Visit Lex by default is community focused. We're here to stimulate the economy locally and keep our hospitality industry running. When we made the switch to traditional bank, it was so easy. We're treated like we are the biggest client that traditional has. They're our neighbors, they're in our community, they're with us side by side. I'm Patricia Knight, Vice President of Finance and Operations with Visit Lex, and we're a community partner of Traditional Bank.
Welcome back to the Bluegrass Sports Network. I'm Bo Craycraft. Brad Thomas throwing his headset back on. Brad, that was good to get to have Superintendent Kopp join us tonight. I know it's a great night for Western Hills, and he mentioned that football team. We got to see the Franklin County Flyers play a couple weeks ago on the new turf, and they were flying around. I know they are back at home next week. And our friends over at the plant board are going to get to showcase that team, and there's something else. So there's good things happening on the west side here at Western Hills and the east side of Franklin County at Franklin County High School. So
and we can't forget that now the Sauer Soccer Complex that was shared for all those years between three high schools is now the home field for the Frankfort Panthers. I think the turf fields have been a win-win-win across the board. Everybody now has a home field.
Yeah, and I could speak from South Frankfort. My son's a sophomore over there, and they are excited about having a place to just call their own, and they can invest some time and energy into that. And so it's good for the whole city.
Well, and for years when we had the Sauer Complex, everybody was sharing it, so it didn't really have that home field advantage that you are seeing this year at Western Hills and Franklin County, and now with the Panthers being able to play at Sauer, we truly have home games.
Well, let's talk a little bit about, we got a minute and a half here on the clock. Lafayette clearly had more possession. We're got an early goal out of Dahlhair.
Right.
And the Wolverines answered a little bit unconventionally with the deflection goal, but it counts the same.
That's right. On the scorebook, it was a good goal, but it
came from Kennedy Carter. But then really quickly, less than about a minute later, the Generals got a second goal to take us to a 2-1 goal. That was Ella. Can't remember her last.
That was Abraham.
Abraham, yeah, number 15. So we're at halftime, 2-1. What do you think Coach Brady's telling the Wolverines right now?
I think he's telling them right now this game is sitting up pretty for us. It's exactly the way we wanted it to be at halftime. We wanted to be close, and we wanted to see if we can play with the Lexington School. They've proven the fact that they can play with the Lexington School. Now it's about trying to get something in the back of the net to make something happen here in this Region 11 matchup.
And on the other side, Coach Roden. What do you think?
I think they're going to maintain the possession side, and I think you're going to see the ball ending up on Dahlhair's foot again. I think we didn't see Simpson that first half, and, she came in as their leading scorer in only 7 games, but I think Dahlhair is going to put this team on her back and try and bring home a victory for the Lady Generals.
Well, they had kind of found their groove right before they gave that goal up. They were starting to knock the ball around. Their center backs were finding Dahlhair there in space in the middle of the field. They had a couple substitutions. I was thinking of 17. Is that Martinez?
Yeah, that was Martinez.
She came in and made a couple good plays.
You also had Marianne Gabb that came in the midfield that was connecting a lot of good balls there. The Generals are going to try and maintain possession and not give up those wings access for Western Hills. And I think that's going to be the secret. If Maddie Mueller and Anna Woolhams get space, Western Hills has a chance. If the ball stays in the Lafayette Generals offensive end, the Wolverines are going to end their season tonight.
And I think this is just my personal opinion given the game we've seen. Western Hills needs to try to get that next goal.
Oh, right.
I think if they go down 3-1, that's going to be a tough mountain for them to climb. So,
and I think if Coach Brady, he's going to try and push them for that first 15. Let's make something happen in the first 15 minutes and see if we can't turn this into a tie game. Remember, since we are in elimination phase of the soccer season, we'll go into extra time if everything's tied up. And then after a couple periods of extra time, we'll see the dreaded penalty kick that I always hate to see teams end their season on penalty kicks.
It's a tough way to lose. And, you and I have done a couple of games with Bluegrass Sports Network that were regular season district games that we've already seen a couple shootouts thus far. So
the possession game by the Generals is still strong as they whip it around here. That's Dahlhair again. Offensive end, defensive end, she's everywhere.
She's a really nice young lady, looking player.
Even when Western Hills is getting the ball, they're a lot of times not able to connect passes. And it goes back as a tip of the hat to the Generals here who are really showing a nice flow to their passing. They're really connecting with one another, and it's a good battle over on the sidelines with Maddie Brock.
Dahlhair, a little one-touch pass there to try to break a line, but Kennedy Carter now trying to release Maddie Mueller, but she could not do so. That's a good ball in behind. Gets to the byline.
Oh, just missed, and we got an offsides flag.
I think it was across the goal line. I don't think she could quite get there before the cross, but really nice ball in behind. And that was Abraham on the end of that trying to cross.
See the Wolverines still struggling to try and get the ball out of their defensive third, and ball will drift back to the center back there for the Generals, and they'll restart their offensive push. Trying to find Gamble down this side, and that's Lauren Murray. They've had a good battle tonight.
Yeah, Gamble was she just played that ball in behind to Abraham. That was a really nice idea. Just didn't quite work out for her. This is Abraham again trying to get around that edge, and she and Brock will continue their little battle out there.
Yeah, that's a good physical matchup between those two. Maddie Brock being very crafty there, and Kristen Tucker's able to clear it. Dangerous ball there, but the shot just.
That was Gamble, number 2.
That was Gamble again, and you see the offense of the Generals. It's spread across the team. They have several goal scorers, and Western Hills has been able to dodge a lot of the bullets being shot by the Generals tonight. That's Ella Davis with an interception.
Turnover, and she had Woolhams out there to the right. Instead went to Kennedy. Now they've got Mueller in some space.
This is good plays by Western Hills. And a shot from Mueller, and that's going to go out for a goal kick. I kept looking for her to center that ball, but here's a replay on it. You'll see Mueller with space, which is what we saw a lot of in the district tournament. just unable to put it on frame, as she couldn't get her hips around that shot, and it'll go out harmlessly for a goal kick for the Generals. Goal kick comes to Brooke Dahlhair. It seems like every ball ends up on Brooke Dahlhair's foot at this moment.
And that was just a nice little thigh trap.
Scott and Jim looking for the winger Gamble here.
She's got her outside back making a run, but she chooses to go.
Yeah, I was a little surprised. I thought they'd go for that overlap on this side.
She was looking for Abraham instead. Now
That's
she'll
a
look
good
for
ball.
her again. And
just
much like the
trips out.
last scenario there, they couldn't quite get there. One of the things I like about the Generals is it feels like a lot of their parts move around. You know,
right.
We've seen Abraham already in this half on the left side, on the right side. There she was more central.
Mm-hmm.
Gamble is the same. You know, they move around, and so from a defensive standpoint, that's kind of hard to.
Yeah, it's one of those things that it opens up spots for other folks. And, you know, we saw Dahlhair controlling a lot of the first half, but Gamble has been a crucial part to this Lady General machine tonight as well. That's Kristen Tucker trying to maintain possession, and she'll drop it back. Well, it's taken away by Gamble. And they're going to do a give and go to Gamble. Gamble being taken on by Murray, and the ball will be picked up by Carson Graves.
It was a really good recovery from Murray there.
Murray has switched to that left back. It happened late last season, and she has played very well and effective for the Wolverines in that left back position. She was more of a forward prior to that. That's Anna Willems with a head of steam, and she's tripped. And I don't know that was on purpose, but a very tactical trip there. It's going to be a free kick from about 25 yards out.
I think that they kind of got their legs tangled there. Willems was trying to get a shoulder kind of cut in front of that defender, and they got tangled up. And so Ella Davis will come over to
hear the fans talking here. It's going to be Ella Davis going to stand over this free kick.
Several Wolverine fans are encouraging more green shirts to step up the field.
Davis goes for goal, and it's going to go through the uprights on the football uprights, but it goes out harmlessly for the Lady Generals.
Speaking of football, I haven't got to see it, but I hear that the Wildcats took care of some orange today.
You know, I heard it was the first win in Knoxville since 1984. Bo, you probably don't remember 1984, but I can tell you I was a junior in high school, and it was pretty good times.
Well, I don't remember it. I was, I guess, 7, you know. I will tell you that my stepfather is a huge UK football fan. He's one of those guys that every year they're going to win the SEC tournament. He's an eternal optimist, so I'm happy for him.
And here we come with the Generals. No one stopping the ball, and we see them trying to spray the ball out to the left wing. And this is Olivia Turner playing defense now, trying to keep Abraham at bay. And that's Maggie Richardson able to clear it out. That had some danger there, Bo, that the ball just kept running with the Generals down that left wing. And finally they stood up to stop the ball. It's Olivia Turner with another good defensive play. She missed all of last season. That ball's dangerous, and a good play by Maglemont to get it. As I said, Olivia Turner missed all of last season with an ACL tear, and she's back this year, and she's been a real rock-solid defender for the Wolverines this season. That's Dahlhair trying to come on that right
shot.
foot, and that was a beautiful goal. She has just put this team on her back, and let's see the replay. Just put this team on her back and has this time shooting with the right, last time with the left, and she's a gamer. She is a gamer, and the Wolverines are in a heap of trouble now with only 32 minutes left. Down 3-1 to the Lady Generals from Lafayette. And, Bo, I'm going to be honest with you, those are some spectacular goals from number 7, Brooke Dahlhair.
Well, that one, I don't think there was anything Graves could do. It was tucked in that left side.
And you could just see her running to try to get enough space to get the shot. And the Wolverines' defense was just unable to get in her way to impede the shot at all. And good players get and I look at the goal. A lot of times they're going to put it in the back of the net. That's exactly what she did.
I think she's definitely going to probably make the Bluegrass Energy power plays of the game that we'll share hopefully in the next day or two.
And there she is with the ball again. She is, as I said, just taking this team and put them on her back right now. Look at the pass out to Gamble. That's Kristen Gamble keeping the ball in. Nice play. She finds Abraham, who puts a shot at Carson Graves, and a good catch by Carson. Graves will let the defense and her team push up, and we'll get a goal kick. 3-1 game with 31 minutes left, Bo. This is not shaping up the way the Wolverines had hoped in this second half. And, you know, a 2-goal lead is nothing safe for sure, but 2 goals in a region matchup is a pretty good way to be. That's a good ball once again from Abraham, trying to find Gamble, but just goes past her foot onto the oncoming Carson Graves.
I bet the Wolverines, they would like to have that opportunity they had back with Mueller in space. You know, in these games where you are playing someone that is ranked 10th in the state, you've got to take advantage of any chances. They were able to take advantage of that one in the first half, but that was a really good early chance to either play it across the face of the goal or try to get one on frame.
Yeah, that's Kristen Tucker on the ball, and she's trying to lead the offense down. She's carrying, and the Generals are not stopping the ball. She tries to feed it through to her wing, Anna Willems, but unable to get it through there.
That was a nice idea. Good defending, though, from the Generals. And now they're back on the attack.
And look who it is with the ball. She just left that one, though. That was Dahlhair they're trying to hit. Ella Davis trying to connect, but passes right into Cotton Gym, and the Generals will get possession again. They're really starting to flow with their offense now. That's Abraham looking for a shot. She's in the box. Olivia Turner was able to catch her and force a corner kick on this one.
The winner of this matchup will play the nightcap on Tuesday night against the winner of Henry Clay, Madison Southern.
I'm a betting man. I'm going to say that's Henry Clay, but anything can happen in region play.
Looks like Madison Southern and Henry Clay were going to kick off at 7 p.m. tonight, so they're probably about 10 minutes in.
Dangerous ball out in front again. And
that's a header cleared off the line. Second attempt. Wow. Good
Maddie
defending.
Mueller coming back and helping out. Now the counter begins for Western Hills, and they've got numbers, and we'll see if they can do anything with it. And the Generals fight back, and you can see the scrappiness of the Wolverines coming out here.
Not sure who got ahead on that. I thought it was maybe Abraham.
I think it was Abraham, and then the ball ended up on the ground in the 6-yard box, and Maddie Mueller was able to keep the ball out of the back of the net. Saw Carson Graves come out in that play that was right in front of the net, and you know, Western Hills can breathe a sigh of relief that this is not a 4-1 game. Seems like Lafayette's winning every ball out of the air right now.
And the ball is definitely starting to move. That's 2 or 3 one-touch passes in a row.
That's Abraham.
Looking for a switch fields now. And
ball will go out of play.
You mentioned Great Crossing got their first regional win in the history of their school. Of course, they're just 2 years in. They will face
Maddie
the winner.
Mueller again.
Maddie Mueller in space.
And there's going to be another foul.
I think we're going to see a caution
That's
here.
going to be a card.
So the clock will stop.
That's going to be Sarah Hall who's going to pick that up, and they were able to stop. We had a little replay there that you could see Maddie Mueller getting fouled. Clock. 28 minutes on the clock. We got going to get a restart here. Maddie Mueller going to try and
She's a little shaken up, but I think she's up.
Yeah, Chris Brady, the coach of Western Hills, trying to make sure he can get one of his star players to stay on the field, and she gave him the thumbs up that she's going to stick it out. You know, after sitting out that district game last year against Great Crossing, I'd say it's going to take something that's going to be debilitating for her to not want to be out there on that field. Here we go with the Generals again running, and they're trying to find Kristen Gamble, but ball will drift out of bounds. Be a Lafayette Generals throw in. had a substitution coming in. Looks like Kayla Moore is going to be heading out and trying to pick up a number who that is going to be.
Is this our number 9 that we've been?
I think that's 5.
Oh, that's in the back. That's in the back.
Yeah, that's Leah Hale coming back in. She's going to take on that center defender, rolling the 3-5-2 that Lafayette Generals run. Stahlhair trying to find someone. They'll maintain possession and they'll start the offense again. It's just fun to watch them pass the ball. It's painful for the Wolverines fans, but I can tell you they're playing at a high level of soccer right now, Bo.
They're a very nice team.
As we said, the drawing for the region matchups, this was a tough draw for Western Hills. And see Dahlhair getting a little ambitious with that shot, and it'll go out for a goal kick. But tough draw for Western Hills to be matched up with Lafayette, who, as we said, was ranked 10th in the state, coming in as the number 2 seed out of their district.
Yeah, they lost to Lexington Catholic, who I believe won the regional tournament last year. So I expect them to be favorites again this year. They face off with Sayre tonight.
That's Abraham, and Olivia Turner will clean that up. Unable to get it all the way out, though. That's another good shot, and it hits the back of the netting off of the goalpost for the football goalpost.
You see their danger from distance, though. You know, both of Dahlhair's goals have been outside the box. That was outside the box, so.
And, you know, when you see shots like that, typically it's those midfielders, those holding midfielders that have to try to get those shots or try to deflect those shots or influence the person taking the shot. And both times you've seen Dahlhair be able to stretch the defense so she could get her foot around a ball to be able to put it in the back of the net. That ball will go out of bounds, and it'll be another Lady General throw in. Well, we got 25 and a half minutes left, Bo. If you're Coach Brady, what's your game plan at this point?
You got to figure he'll have to try to adjust and try to get some numbers forward. It's a tough situation because when you add numbers forward, it just leaves space in behind. Fatigue has got to be setting in too.
And you know, the thing about this Lafayette Lady Generals team is there's several players that can put it in the back of the net. So it's not just eliminating one person, there's threats all over the pitch.
That was Carter trying to play Mueller in. Ball gets cleared out.
Be a throw in for Lauren Murray, coming up from her left back position. She goes for the long throw in, but finds a Lady General. It's flicked on to Abraham, who tries to find a teammate, but she finds Olivia Turner in the center of that Wolverines defense instead. Stahlhair, who has really been putting her stamp on this game, trying to find the left wing there, but good defending by Maddie Brock there, the senior. Western Hills just looks like they're just struggling to connect balls in a way that's providing any kind of danger to the Lafayette defense. It's a good ball, and it's Martinez that was going for that.
It's just hard to chase. You know, you chase and you chase and you chase, and then you get the ball, and you haven't had it enough to really get a tempo, and so your touches are off, your weight of your pass is off, and so I think that leads to struggling to make passes. Whereas Lafayette, a lot of the ball, knocking it around. That's a really good early ball.
Byrne with a good pass, and she's offside, so that
goal's not going to count, but man.
Some good ball movement. It started with Brooke Byrne over here on this right wing. Here's our replay. You'll see a good opportunity for Lafayette Generals, but just offside.
Is that Abraham that tried to do the little volley there?
It was.
It was a really nice first touch from her. Her teammate just drifted into that offside position, so we remain at 3-1.
That's Byrne again trying to find someone. That's Abraham on the ball. Abraham takes on Lauren Murray. Murray holds steady in her defense and gets it out to Kendi Carter. Carter trying to push the ball up. This is where Western Hills has been dangerous, when Maddie Mueller has space and time to run on something.
Kennedy Carter's having to really drag back to get touches on that ball. She's checking in almost into the midfield.
Yeah.
But it looks like she's trying to release Williams or Mueller, whoever she can.
Yeah, trying to really be that holding nine in the soccer world, coming back and trying to get some connections. That's Gianna Maglimont coming in to make the play. Ella Davis with the ball now. Ella in the middle of the field trying to squirt it through to on-running Anna Williams, but unable to make that connection. Here's Dahl here in the middle of the field. She's going to swing it wide for Byrne again. They'll swing it around. Byrne taking on Murray, and Murray wins this chance and blasts it off Byrne there for the throw in for Western Hills. It's Kristen Tucker trying to get the ball up. Ella Davis misjudges it a little bit, and the Lady Generals will settle back on and start the offense again. You know, they're playing an extremely high line here, Bo, so it's really setting up for a potential counter for Western Hills, but they're just unable to maintain possession in this midfield to be able to push the ball out for those oncoming runners.
And you can see just on that ball there, they don't have anyone high enough really to connect with either. So they're having a hard time getting out of their defensive third.
And, you know, it's going to fall on Kristen Tucker and Ella Davis to really start connecting passes to those front three. But here we go again with Lafayette pushing the ball down that left wing.
That was Dahlhair trying to get in behind. Turner comes over to clean it up. And we got a couple substitutions.
And Ella Davis coming out for Anna Lodmell, and we got two coming in for Lafayette. Looks like Abraham's going out.
Number 10, is that?
Yeah, and that's Gamble coming back in. Now the Lafayette coaching staff just got interchangeable players. As we said, they had 10 players on the scorebook this year, putting it in the back of the net, and it seems like it's just a revolving door of talent coming in right now. Gamble's had a few chances. She replaces Abraham, who had a few chances, and
well, it felt like everybody that you talked about in the pregame, as you and I were talking about this, was they have 7 goals, they have 6 goals, they have 8 goals. You know, they really have spread it around.
And, you know, and when you see high assist totals, that tells you that they're build-up goals. So you have players with 7 and 6 and 5 and on the assist side. It's another dangerous ball. Good block by Maglimont. Kendi Carter way back trying to get something positive started. That's Anna Williams on the right wing, looking for friends and going to take on about half the Lafayette team. She comes across the field and finds Kendi Carter trying a little give-and-go action, but to no avail for the Lady Wolverines. And here comes Dahlhair with a head of steam, pushing it through and just missing her runner there. That was Martinez that she was looking for. And that's going to go out.
Is that going to be
for a corner kick?
Corner kick? Couldn't tell if Western Hills got that touch.
So far, Western Hills has dodged some bullets off these corner kicks, but the goals have come from run of play. So we'll see if the set piece will cause any danger for Carson Graves.
That's a good ball in.
It lands
takes a fortunate bounce for Graves, right into her lap.
We got about 19 minutes left in this Region 11 matchup. And that's Anna Lodmell with the ball, trying to find a streaking Maddie Mueller, but she's going to end up holding it up, trying to find someone to connect a pass to. And
she was just looking for teammates. Like, is anyone going to check? You know?
Right. And there's Martinez. Swinging around, there's Dahlhair, who avoids the Richardson check, and she's got space. She puts it out, but it's going to be a little too far, and Carson Graves will collect that one. Just see Dahlhair is just running circles around the Western Hills midfield now.
She's very nice on the ball. Quick little touches there to kind of create space for herself. And she anticipates the tackle real well. So right there, she took some contact from Richardson, but bounced off of it. And again, I think part of that is the competition that they play, the speed of play that she has to play at.
I see a substitution now. We got Ella Davis coming back in. She'll go back into that 10 spot, and we'll slide Anna Lodmell over here to the left wing, and Maddie Mueller will get a few minutes break. Mueller's had a few streaks down this left side, but That's Maggie Richardson winning a ball, and there's a heavy tackle in the midfield, and we're going to get a foul called.
She's going to earn a foul there, free kick for the Wolverines, and so they can catch their breath for a minute, step up the field.
Lauren Murray's going to step up. This is from distance. I don't think we'll see a shot here. There's not even going to be a wall from Lafayette. We'll see what kind of plans Chris Brady draws up from the training pitch, and that's Murray trying to find Tucker. Olivia Turner now on the ball. Her and Martinez battle, and Martinez pokes it away, and here's Dahlhair on the ball again. Dahlhair streaking down the center of the pitch.
Got Byrne on the far right. And
she swings it over Gamble.
Gamble with the finish.
Yeah, there was no Gamble on that finish. She put it right in, and the Lafayette Lady Generals take a commanding 4-1 lead, and we'll watch it. She's able to slide it under the approaching Graves, and the ball movement, it's hard to stop a moving ball, and the Wolverines are finding out the ball moves faster than they can. And we're 4-1 with 17:09 left in this 11 region matchup, and the Wolverines are going to have to dig deep and find something positive here to get them moving in hopes of playing on Tuesday.
Yeah, this is a very big mountain to climb at this point. You got to expect that fatigue is getting. They've been chasing a lot.
It's Ella Davis on the ball. She threads
really nice
one through.
Pass. Really nice pass. Lodmell's not going to be able to connect with it, but that's 2 goals and an assist now for Dahlhair. So
that's right.
She continues to
make
that big plays.
That pass from Davis was a very nice pass, but the sophomore Anna Lodmell a little too far in. You tend to want to see wingers come from that outside line back in to keep balls like that in play, but she's more on the numbers of the pitch as opposed to numbers from the football field on the pitch as opposed to being on the chalk, as they speak.
Mango Mott will just play that out for a throw.
This is Byrne going to be throwing it in for the Generals. She comes in, and that's Gamble with the ball. Gamble takes a look and tries to find the on-run of her teammate, but it goes without danger for a Carson Graves goal kick. Get a substitution in now for Lafayette Generals, and Martinez will take a break. Goal kick from Graves, and trying to find a green shirt, and she does. It's Anna Willems on that right wing.
Immediately surrounded by 3D Generals.
Now it's that swarming type defense that this 3-5-2 really gums up the midfield. And it's Western Hills put very little pressure on those back 3 players. As you see one of the backs coming up playing that ball, and now will continue to run. A lot of confidence being shown by Lafayette right now. As they dance around, there's Dahlhair again, trying to get on the left foot, and it's blocked by Olivia Turner. She tries to center it, Dahlhair does, but Ella Davis is there and just clears it. Once again, the possession game is all Lafayette right now.
Well, and on screen, you can see 2 Wolverines on the 30-yard line. That's their 2 highest players, so they are very compacted right now. Their line is super low. And they're going to have a hard time getting out because they have no one to release to.
Yep, and you see some wholesale subs coming in now for Lafayette. 4 substitutions coming in. Trying to get some experience for some of the younger players, it looks like, in this 4-1 game with 14.5 minutes left.
And a little rest for some of your starters. This COVID season has been, a lot of games in a short period of time. And, district tournament and the region tournament have been basically on the same schedule. But most of these teams have played 3 games a week for 5 weeks.
We talk about those injuries. Whenever you're playing that much and don't have proper training season to begin with, it really puts a drain on these bodies. And see some of them are breaking down through the season. That's Gamble, who scored that last goal, being chased by Ella Davis, and Lafayette content to just maintain possession at this point. They'll swing it around, try and get a switch here, but they'll come right back to these center backs just playing pitch and catch with each other. Olivia Turner trying to gain possession for the Wolverines, but just is able to just put it as far out as she can, and Lafayette run on it again. You can see some of the Generals really trying to look for their own shots from distance, and I think we're going to keep seeing some of these shots from distance that have been so dangerous for the Lady Wolverines tonight. We're down to 13 minutes and 13 seconds for the Lady Wolverines season if something doesn't happen positively for them. That's a good play by Olivia Turner to stop the through ball. But that's Gamble taking another shot, and Carson Graves will track that one down.
Wolverines still battling under a lot of pressure, but not giving up.
I think we've got to see Coach Brady start pushing some players up to that to the line of the last defense for Lafayette, just to try and put some pressure on them, because right now the back three of Lafayette is not under any type of pressure from the Wolverines.
And we talked about that in the first half. You know, if those three have unlimited time, you have a outnumbered situation in the midfield.
Yep,
with five midfielders, Wolverines are playing a 4-3-3, and so that's why I think Carter's having to drag back so deep. She's defending,
right,
and she's not there to put pressure on those center backs. If she steps forward, then that just creates a gap where the Generals can create passing lanes.
Right. And, you know, they've done a great job of finding those gaps in that Western Hills 4-3-3, and they've maintained, I would estimate, about 80% possession in this game.
They've had a ton of it. Wolverines have created a couple chances. Mueller's definitely been able to use her speed out wide. Williams as well. So, you know, they got to try to figure out a way to get them into some space.
And this very positive move for Western Hills as Dahlhair comes out finally.
Dahlhair does check out with 11.5. I wonder if we'll see any more of her tonight. Probably not unless something changes on the scoreboard.
Yeah. Trying to give her some rest because she's been everywhere. She played offense. She played defense. She
created. She scored.
Yeah.
She did just a little bit of everything. Looking forward to seeing her play on Tuesday if they continue.
That's a good play by Carson Graves to come off her line to wrestle that ball away from the oncoming rush of Lafayette. We've got 11 minutes left in this matchup, and Wolverines just looking for positive light of any type right now, because it just seems like the ball is on the foot of a white Lady General player for this entire second half.
I mentioned his Region 11 preview, Jared Peck from the Lexington Herald. I think we're setting up to where we could potentially have 3 top 10 or 15 teams in the state on Tuesday night on the girls' side. With, you know, if things go as seeded and our district, you know, Lafayette wins here, and you've got Lexington Catholic and
that's Gamble,
Henry Clay.
That's Abraham trying to run on a left-footed shot, but Olivia Turner steps up to thwart that opportunity.
Great Crossing would be the district runner-up out of the 41st district. They got that win over Model. They're a young crew, only in their second year, but they have a couple really nice individual players. I was thinking of Dodge. Of course, they've got a young lady named Maren Patton, Allie Nowen.
Yeah.
So we're going to see some really good individual players and also some really good teams that have a chance to really compete for a state championship.
Well, you know, on that Great Crossing, we talked about the goal scorers today. I just wonder if we had any of the magic that we saw from Patton.
I think she scored from a PK. I was listening to Cal Oakes. He is with the local newspaper in Georgetown. He was tweeting some of the action.
He does a good job of covering their sports.
I'm
amazed of.
He was a trooper at their last week at District 41. He was the man in the beanie that was just roaming the sidelines. It felt like he was there all week. We were laughing that maybe he just crashed in his car.
Well, it's one of those things. He's quick on Twitter, and he's quick with his stories. It seems like as soon as the game's over, he's got his story turned in. And back in my previous life, I worked for a newspaper, hometown newspaper, as a sports writer and editor, and I can tell you, cranking out those stories at late nights, it takes a special kind of person. Glad that I got out of that career.
Well, I expect to see Jared Peck at the Region 11 as well. His daughter plays soccer. We've seen her training over at GS Footbox with Coach BJ. And I'm not exactly sure which school she's with, but I know he's coached some in his lifetime too. He's a big soccer fan.
They'll play this restart short and try and whip the ball in from distance. That was a crank.
That was a crank. I wasn't expecting that. It was probably about on the 40-yard lines, about 50 out of goal there. But it goes wide. Carson will retrieve it. We've got 8 minutes.
And barring some kind of miracle, Western Hills' season is drifting away from them. Ball goes to Ella Davis, little heavy touch, and that's Abraham with the ball. She swings the ball out wide on the right wing. They'll try and get the ball centered again. Olivia Turner cleans that up, but she puts it right back on the back three for the Lady Generals, and they'll start the offense again. That's Abraham dancing in the midfield. Western Hills just is watching her, but that good interception by Maddie Mueller. We'll see what she brings. She's going to use her speed, and she blows past the right back, and she's going in all alone. We'll see what she does with it.
She's got Kennedy Carter coming to her right. She goes for goal just wide.
And a replay there, and here's Maddie blasting down that left side and goes short side with the shot. Second time tonight she's gone short side, but she comes up short with that shot. You know, if one of those goes in earlier in the game, I think we're at a different point in this, but we'll see Mueller come out now. Sarah Jones, a senior, is coming in to replace her on this left wing. We got about 6.5 minutes.
She got some wheels, though.
I'm telling you. You can tell she's a track star, so come spring she'll be using that speed on this track that goes around the Western Hills football/soccer field. Kristen Tucker fighting in the midfield for the ball. Will play on the advantage, and they're just – Lady Generals are relentless in their attack at this point. It's Gianna Maglamont back to Carson Graves, and her kick comes right back to Great Crossing. Or Great Crossing, I'm sorry, Lafayette. I'm used to calling Great Crossing.
We've done a lot of those games here recently. Excited to see the Lafayette Generals tonight, and they have not disappointed.
Well, their ball movement has been extraordinary, and you know I think they've got some opportunities to really go far in this region tournament. That's Murray trying a big switch.
Good idea there. Is that Woolhams?
That is Woolhams.
She takes a good first touch.
She's going to try and get through there, and she runs right into that back three for Lafayette. That's Maddie Brock coming in, just trying to make something positive happen. Still fighting for the ball. Western Hills showing a lot of heart here, and Maddie Brock will come up and foul. It looks like it's Martinez.
You know, Maddie Brock's an outside back. I think she got into a position she probably could have taken a little bit of a swing at it.
That's right.
Was looking for a teammate, just a little not real comfortable in that forward position.
You know, she's really come on with her ball skills. She played club soccer last year for Bluegrass, and, you know, her confidence and the way she plays the game is been fun to watch this year. Hard player. She never gives up, and very physical in her game. That's Kendi Carter trying to find Anna Woolhams out wide, and we finally get some good ball movement from Western Hills.
Woolhams trying to use her speed and her strength.
We'll see if Carter can get on the end of that one. Woolhams goes for goal, and it hits the crossbar, but the wrong crossbar. It's the yellow one. It's for the goalpost for, see the shot coming in again, just a little high, straight off the crossbar.
Tough angle, good strike though.
You know, Western Hills has gotten a few dangerous plays here, but the shots at the end have let them down a little bit.
Well, we're about 4 minutes here remaining. I know the Wolverines have several seniors. This is probably going to be their last game. Definitely in KHSAA, but in some cases maybe in their athletic career. So as we kind of close this game out, maybe you can try to highlight a few of them. I know that you've spent time on the coaching staff and know them well.
Yeah, you know, it's always hard to say goodbye to some of these players, but you know, when you start looking through some of these seniors, you have Anna Woolhams, that we just talked about with that last shot, who has played with a lot of heart for the Wolverines for these last few years. Olivia Turner, who fought back from injury last year to really solidify that defense in front of Carson Graves.
See her right there. on the 10-yard line there.
Yeah.
She's played well tonight.
She has played well tonight. And then you have Kristen Tucker, who was the MVP of the district tournament, the real grinder out of that holding midfielding position for Coach Chris Brady. She will be graduating this year and looking to go somewhere for potentially a soccer or dance. She also is a dancer. So, that's – a lot of these girls are multi-sport or multi-activity based, and so we have quite a few girls that play multiple sports or are involved in multiple activities. We also have Sarah Jones, who's on the field right now for the left wing position. That's a good play by Lauren Murray. She graduating after a 4-year player for Western Hills. We also have Carson Graves in the pipes there.
4-year starter.
4-year starter, just a great athlete. She's also a track star, so she'll be running around this same field come springtime. And then our last senior that we're going to recognize tonight is Maddie Brock, really the heart and soul of this team out of that defensive spot.
Speaking of a senior goalkeeper, she makes a save and a second save.
And a second one. 2 minutes left in this game, and you get back-to-back shots, and Carson Graves is up to the task. As I was saying, Maddie Brock plays with a lot of heart and really the heart and soul of this team that won their first district championship. Just on Thursday night.
Everybody has to lose except one team in this deal. So it's always hard to face defeat and end your season. But these young ladies have done a lot for Western Hills soccer. They have grinded for 4 years.
Right.
And, had to overcome the Franklin County Flyers, the last 3 years district champions. They got them in the regular season, first win in 5 or 6 years, correct?
Yes.
Then they beat them again in districts, and they played wonderful last week. Then they got a 3-2 district title, first title in the history of the Wolverines. So these young ladies are going to leave a lasting legacy for this high school program and Coach Brady.
And, hats off to Coach Chris Brady. He came in here. This was going to be a difficult job to take over, and he tried to change culture, tried to change the belief process, and this year he was able to get past Franklin County in the regular season and then once again in the district. And, and the way soccer plays out in the capital city, a lot of times beating the crosstown rivals is really the goal of the season. But he took it a step further, and they brought home the district title this year and another appearance in the region for him and his teams. And, they're still fighting here. There's 40 seconds left, and they're still taking shots. They're still working hard. And that one from Davis goes wide, and we're down to the final 30 seconds of this outstanding season for the Western Hills Lady Wolverine soccer team.
And the Resurrection Project that Coach Taylor Roden has entered into here at Lafayette takes another step.
That's right.
They will reach the semifinals of Region 11. We'll see them Tuesday night. Setting up to be a tremendous game,
and
maybe
that'll
with
be
Henry Clay or Madison Southern.
Yep. And that'll be at the Great Crossing Complex. We affectionately refer to as Great Crossing University because it is an outstanding complex for soccer.
And you can see there the clock has reached 0. Western Hills Wolverines are going to see their season end with a 4-1 defeat to the Lafayette Generals.
It was just all Generals tonight. Great play from Brooke Dawhair, and when you start looking at them across the board, their possession game was very strong tonight, and there's not a whole lot Western Hills could do to stop it.
Before we sign off, I just want to thank the folks that joined us on the Bluegrass Sports Network. Maybe you're new to our network. We are going to be at the regional tournament next week. We'd love to have you. You can find us online at www.kybsn.com. It's just KentuckyBSN.com. We're also on Facebook and Twitter. We'll be sharing some highlights probably from this game in the next day or so. But we'd love to have you tag along, like and subscribe on YouTube, and we'll be back next week. Or I guess it's this week almost.
Right. Almost
it
this
feels
week.
like every other day.
Yeah.
So we thank you for joining us tonight. We're going to take our last break for the night, but we will see you at our next stream.
The people of Frankfort are ready for growth in our community. We need strong leaders who can help bring real changes to our city. Kyle Thompson is ready for the challenge. He's a strong supporter of law enforcement and wants to provide proper funding for our police and emergency services to reduce crime rates. Kyle also plans to work in cooperation with the county to revitalize our parks. It is important to provide for the well-being of all of our Frankfort families. Kyle is ready to take on all of this and more. Make your voice heard and vote Kyle Thompson for City Commission.
Running a business takes a lot of focus and dedication. Keeping up with the ever-changing tax laws and keeping up with all the numbers behind your business, while necessary, can cause distraction and even a little anxiety. That's where Charles T. Mitchell, certified public accountants, come in. They've been helping local businesses run smoothly since 1964. They've got the experience and quality you deserve, and they'll put your mind at ease. Taxes, accounting, and assurance services for your business. Charles T. Mitchell, CTMCPA.com.
All right, we're back on the Bluegrass Sports Network. Just going to do a quick wrap on this. 4-1 victory from the Generals of Lafayette. Bluegrass Energy Power Player of the game. I think it's pretty easy, but
it's pretty easy. I think Brooke Dahlhair was just put the team on her back and led the Lady Generals tonight to victory. And, you know, from scoring her own goals to finding others, she was head and shoulders above anyone else on the pitch tonight.
Yeah, she got the opening goal. Then she got the opening goal in the second half to kind of really put the game away. And so hats off to her.
Yep. Right-footed goal, left-footed goal, and an assist. Yeah.
So she was all over the place tonight, and I'm looking forward to seeing her play again on Tuesday. So we'd love to have you guys join us back. I'm Bo Craycraft.
I'm Brad Thomas.
Thanks for joining us again, Brad, and we will see you on our next stream.